Folks, my name's Eddie. I'm one of the UK's most engaging magicians and host, and I've recently did a wedding for this lovely Bev Sankey, not for Bev, but for a daughter, and we're just going to do some feedback. So, hi Bev, just introduce yourself.
Hello, Eddie. Lovely to see you as always. My name is Bev Sankey and I'm a healthy living coach.
Oh, wonderful. Now, how did you come across me?
In the first place, Eddie, I'm not sure. Years ago.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was Lucy's
Well,
daughter.
yeah, the first event you did for us as a family was Lucy's 21st birthday
Yeah.
party. So that is 9 years ago. So
Oh
yeah,
God,
I
feeling
know.
old now.
Unbelievable.
And your daughter was getting married.
Yeah, recently, my other daughter, she was getting married, and it was quite a big event. We really pushed the boat out.
As you
And-
would do, it's your daughter.
well, they've been together 10 years, so it was a real celebration. We were really
Yeah.
happy for them. And they chose that, which was a bit of a surprise. We didn't expect them to. We thought they might go off to Bali or something, but no. So yeah, we decided on a very sort of what I call English wedding.
Yeah.
Um,
What made you think about using my service as a magician and host?
I think it was because we'd spent 12 months putting it all together, and then especially Rosie and I in the last 6 months, there was a lot of work every night. Getting the menus, getting the invitations out, um, correlating people's foods, making sure that the allergies were taken care of, all that sort of thing. It was like very detailed. And I realized during that process of all the disagreements between the different people of what they wanted, what they didn't
Yeah.
want. I just thought, once we've got this done, that's it. There is no changes. We have to stick to the plan. And I realized for various different reasons, let's say, that we needed somebody that I could trust, that I knew would be more than capable of making sure the day actually ran smoothly so that we as a family didn't have to be worried or concerned.
Yeah.
So if anybody complained or they fell out or, as families might do,
Oh, yes.
you know, I just wanted to make sure that Rosie and her husband were not affected, that they could just enjoy the day. And I knew that you would be able to do that, Eddie. So that's why I asked you.
It's always an honor to be asked to be a host and MC, and it is one of those things where the couple know how the days run. Nobody else does. So when something goes wrong, or God forbid anything does go wrong, people go to the couple, and then it's a negative comment or
Absolutely.
something, and it ruins their day. And you're
Yeah,
spending a lot of money. So
yeah.
I had quite a few meetings with yourself, and we had a meeting with Rosie and her husband to be. We did a full run sheet of timings and everything, any issues that were going to come up or anything like that. What was one of the main stresses for the wedding that you had?
Um, Catering, making
Yeah.
sure that everything ran to time, really. That was the biggest concern.
Well, you did have a souffle, so you did need to be in the room at the right time.
Yeah.
And what stresses did Rosie have as well? Did she have any issues? Because I
Well,
meeting Blake, he was well chilled. It was you could see
yeah.
the
Yeah, but
stresses with
he's a
Rosie.
bit of a swan under the surface. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, chilled, but not really.
Yeah,
And I was conscious as well, and you were really good because you met with them separately, that I wasn't kind of like, you know,
interfering.
yes, exactly, yeah. But at the same time, you know, wanted to make sure given my own experience in life, that you could see the pitfalls and where they might come. So it was like a
Yeah,
case of like trying to direct them. So obviously, as a third person, they trusted and listened to you more than they ever would to me. So
yeah,
that's important as well, having that person to actually put the things forward rather
yeah.
than, your own mom, so that worked well.
We always listen to our parents, but we never take their advice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you know,
And
I think Rosie's main consideration was having got everything in place, which we did. We had everything under control about 3 weeks before. Um,
yeah,
so we felt very satisfied that there was just minor details to take care of, and mainly dresses, you know, bridesmaids, shoes,
I
earrings,
I can't do anything with those.
all of
That
that. I know. And so, you know, that again, flowers, florist, we had a fantastic florist, and everything was in place. The hall were brilliant, the staff there.
supplies turned up on time as well, which was even
Yeah,
better.
they did, and we decided we wanted lanterns leading up to the church, and Blake and all of his guys cut the you know the chunks of wood to stand them on, and ivy, all that. So there's lots of fine detail, but it
Yeah.
just ran brilliantly. We had a what you call it, a dress rehearsal the night before at the church. So at that point, we knew everything was going to be okay. But 7 days before, Rosie was in a bit of a panic.
Oh,
Um,
why was that?
well, because she'd had her dress fittings, as you do, and then
Yeah.
they'd found they'd have to put a little bit of fabric in by the buttons at the back because it was too
Oh
tight. She couldn't do
no.
it up. Yeah. Well, that was probably 14 days before, to be fair. So then we went back to pick it up because they'd done that amendment and it was still tight. So she was, oh my goodness me, you know, she was getting a bit upset about it. Anyway, it just so happened that this 7 day refresh set that had just been literally launched that week dropped through the, you know, on the doorstep.
Well,
Uh,
what's that then?
it's called the 7 day fresh start.
Yeah.
It's a set by Arbonne. I work with Arbonne. Absolutely love all of the Arbonne products. So, you know, I'm an independent consultant for Arbonne. So whenever anything new comes out, then I instantly, you know, jump on it because I know whatever it says on the box is what it's going to do. So
Yeah.
it came through the door and she saw it. And because it said, I opened it up and she said 7 day fresh start. And she looked at me and she went, Mum, I've got 7 days. I was like, oh God, like, because they're always
Talk
taking.
about throwing it into the testing into the fire, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I just said, okay, but you just, you know, you're gonna have to tell me what you think, you know, at the end of the 7 days. Anyway, she did it and cut a long story short, and it's very simple to do, Eddie. Because the normal program that we have is 30 days. And for somebody who's not used to this sort of thing, that can be quite a challenge because you're eliminating a whole load of foodstuffs.
Yeah.
Whereas this 7 day kit, dead simple. So off she went. We didn't think for 1 minute she would lose the weight because, yes, it's a detox or a semi-detox. So by default, you do lose weight. But I wasn't thinking that she was going to lose that. I thought it would help her to lose any kind of water retention.
Yeah.
And it certainly did. But she also lost quite a bit of weight. And we didn't know how much because her scales weren't working. And
Oh
you know, I
God.
wasn't, I know, but I wasn't thinking, let's see how much weight she loses. I just thought
You
she,
weren't looking as a guinea pig. You was a panicked mum and a
yeah,
panicked daughter.
exactly.
Saw something that literally has just come through the
Well,
door,
to
and
be fair, you know,
what you got to lose?
yeah, I didn't think in 7 days because ordinarily in 7 days you wouldn't lose as much weight as she did. So
Mm,
we had a bit of an argument because basically it shows you what the itinerary is or
yeah.
the principle behind it. She read that, literally took it and took it to the letter. So she wasn't actually eating anything at lunchtime, which I did when I did it the following week. So I was so impressed. Um, but basically, you're eating in an 8 hour window. So you decide what that is. So it's with me, it was 11 till 7. And then if
Yeah.
I ate later than 7 o'clock, which I tried so hard not to do, I wouldn't start until the next day eating until 11:30. And then I'd pull it back again to the 11 slot. So
Yeah.
in fact, the next day I'd probably do an 8.5 window. Sorry, 7.5 window. So you're eating during that period of time. And obviously, you need to be considering what you're eating. And she's already done the 30-day plan, so she's already aware of how to eat clean. So she was, you know, really eating clean. So she was just having an evening meal. So she was having the matcha tea in the morning. And then she was having the protein, the turmeric protein shake, got one there, look, which
Okay. Yeah.
contains vitamin C, mustard seeds, cinnamon, L-leucine, as well as 24 grams of protein. And then also there is broccoli seed extract in it. So you have that around lunchtime. So once your window opens, you can have that. The matcha tea is meant to satiate you in the morning. So you, honestly, you get used to these after the first 2 or 3 days. She said, "Oh no, it's like pond water." And I said, "No, it's not. Just get it down. Yeah, it's going to do you good." But I actually quite like them. But I was having mine warm. I'm not sure
Yeah.
what he was doing. And then also you can have like a detox tea as well if you want, or a black coffee, a fresh black coffee, just to get you to that eating window. And then you can have your protein shake. Then when you get through to sort of like, 5 o'clock, I brought my time for meal preparation forward. And so I was starting to cook around 5:30. So that then you definitely have eaten before 7.
Yeah.
And then you just eat a really well balanced, clean meal. And that's what she did literally. Whereas I
That's
was
good.
eating a snack as well. When I say snack, I'm talking like celery carrot sticks with hummus or something at lunchtime, but she didn't do that. So the results were that she actually went from needing to buy size 14 trousers for at least a year, which she kept resisting. Sometimes she
Mhm.
couldn't even do the button up.
Oh
And
no.
she went from that position to fitting into her old Ted Baker size 10 shorts. So
That's amazing.
it was amazing, yeah. I lost 6 pounds over the 7 days. Not so great, but I wasn't, I was still eating at lunchtime
Yeah.
thing. Um, and I probably wasn't doing as much exercise perhaps as she was as well. So I don't know what she lost, Eddie, but she went
No.
down that size. She lost a dress size, let's put it that way. So
Well, let's put it this way. It must have worked because she didn't look stressed on the day. She looked absolutely
yeah,
amazing.
and
Um,
I buttoned a dress up for her, and it was, Laura helped, and it was just all easy, just absolutely. And she felt great because she knew she'd lost that puffiness.
yeah.
And she was so conscious about photographs because she doesn't think she's
She
photogenic.
wasn't on the day. She was quite
She was
photogenic as
loving
well.
it, wasn't she? She was like
Yeah, the
really
photographer was like, "Well, lie on the grass, do this, do this, do
happy.
this," and I think
Right.
it was Blake who was more uncomfortable this time.
Yeah,
But
probably. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
bet that was a huge relief.
It was. So yeah, I want to share it with everybody because I know that, from personal experience that that is probably the most stressful build up to anything in your life other than perhaps
Well,
having
yeah.
a baby. So
Do you
yeah,
have any of the Do you have any of the kits available?
I do, Eddie. I've decided to do a draw. So
Okay.
two people getting married within now and the 31st of May, say. If you would like to try this 7-day set, and I'll help you, I'll tell you what to do, what to eat, within reason.
So you get your guidance as well over that
Yeah,
period.
absolutely. Yeah, for free as well. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, a one-on-one. We can have a Zoom. I can find out what they normally like to eat and what they're willing to sort of change for 7 days. And then we can monitor the progress and then see how they feel at the end of the 7 days. It's not recommended to then repeat it. You would do
Well,
this
yeah.
like every 3 months, perhaps.
That
So yeah, there's two sets available, and we're going to do
that's
a
good.
draw. So anybody who wants to do this and give me their feedback of how they progressed and perhaps do before and after measurements, that sort of thing, and weight. Then if they get and they follow the links that you will put down in the chat,
Yeah, I'll
um,
do that for you.
between the next 7 days, so between now and next Friday, 21st of March, and then we'll draw it on the Saturday, the 22nd. So I'll put the names in a hat and then do it live so people can see me drawing it out, which is
Wow.
important.
I didn't expect that in this in this live. I was just doing a little feedback, but that's something great to give back. It's I never noticed, so it shows you that it took the stress away.
Well, this came about, Eddie, because you told me about how many times you meet up with bridal couples, and the bride is really getting stressed about the dress and everything else. And when you
It is
think
one of the
that
biggest stresses.
you've got to go back and have your dress amended, you're going to have to pay £150 for that to be done, probably.
Yeah.
It's not the money, it's the stress. The stress is just
Well, that's why
huge.
what I do is what I do. Couples get really stressed, and somebody comes up to them and says, "Oh, I've not had this, and this has not happened, or
Yeah,
the supply's not turned up." They're the ones that are running around doing it all. And the aim of me being a toastmaster, well, a host master and a magician, they get to have a stress-free wedding.
well, they
They
do
get the
because
guests.
it's not, sorry to interrupt, it's not just about you hosting it and making sure everything runs in order. It's about you entertaining the guests at the same time.
Yeah.
Then they trust you and they listen to you. So when you say, right, everybody through here now, we're going to do a toast to XYZ, everybody listens, everybody goes quiet because they've already got to know you
Yeah.
because you're a very amiable person, but also you're making them laugh
Oh,
too.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is great because then they relax because everybody else is like nervous because they've never met the other side of the family, perhaps, you know.
Yeah. And they
Um,
enjoyed the room entrance as well, with everybody cheering and
yeah, that was
clapping
good.
and coming into music.
Yeah, yeah,
Even the bridal party loved it.
yeah,
Um, it creates great moments, and I think as what helped Blake was me doing a bit of magic at the first before they do the speeches, so we had a nice warm audience to talk to,
yeah,
even though they didn't send them a very exotic place. It didn't spend much on the honeymoon, but that's one of the tricks we do, isn't it? And then to be entertaining during the room turnaround as well, that was a relief for them.
yes, yeah. Everything was a relief. It meant that they could just enjoy it. And they really, really
And
enjoyed it. And they said it flew by. It was the fastest day of their entire life.
and they enjoyed the photos with everybody. So what we do is we get everybody to go around the room, have photos of everybody, so they all had a photo with anybody that wasn't missed. And
Yeah,
one thing I did make sure is the bride and groom had a drink and some food,
yeah.
because the wedding was at
3 o'clock. Oh, the
three
wedding was at
o'clock.
1 o'clock and the food
Yeah,
was 3.
3:30. I remember it now. Yes, and yeah, so that's 3 hours without eating. They're probably not eating before. So yeah, it was a great. It's an honor. One, you've got me to do your daughter's 21st. Then you've got me to do the wedding. So
Yeah,
it's
I
as an
think there
honor
was
that you trust
there was
me.
another event, wasn't there?
Was it one of your grandson's birthday?
Oh yeah, it was. It was my grandson's birthday. Yeah,
Yeah.
for I think he was 5, and that was a big hit as well because you
I think
made
that's what
all the
twisted it for
children.
you,
Yeah,
didn't it?
yeah, probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
But
that was a really good event.
if anybody was not sure about booking me, what could you do to give them that reassurance that it's a good idea and it's well worth the money?
Um,
I do like this question. It just puts them on the spot.
what would I say? I would just say that after all of the expense and the time and the energy and the stress, you put it all together, just one little thing could go wrong and spoil the whole day. But by asking you to be there to take charge, if you like, in the background, just gives everybody the ability to relax and enjoy it. So it's
I
kind
think
of very important expense.
I think as well the venue enjoyed it as well, because they could concentrate on doing their job, not
Yeah,
worrying
you
about,
weren't
oh, we need
having to do your job
yeah,
as well. Yeah,
yeah, because no venue likes to tell the photographer to stop taking photos because it needs to go into the room and stuff.
yeah,
And the photographer was amazing. I did say to him, look, the food's going to be at 3:30. I need to take the couple away at 20 past so they can actually see the room, because they spent all this money and have a look at it. And the photographer took some photos with them in the room, took them out, introduced everybody in. Everybody was seated by 3:31, and the food came out at 3:32, and the souffle looked amazing.
yeah. Well, I
So
don't eat cheese, so I didn't have that, Eddie. I don't know what it was like. To be
that's
fair,
brilliant.
that's the thing is like, you make all these choices in advance and you're expecting it, your expectations are high, so
Mm.
they should be. And so it's very stressful for the photographer, for the videographer, for the venue, organizers, for everybody, the florist, everybody's like,
Everybody was stressed because they
hair
want the
and
best.
makeup. I would just
Yeah,
shout out to Laura, of Beauty by Laura, and also the hairdresser. I mean, he was amazing too. So everybody was brilliant. Just real professionals. So it meant because we'd got such good professionals in place, it was a fantastic day. So
everybody worked well together. Everyone was friendly. It even networked for supplies because we were talking to other people and making
yeah,
sure they're okay. Um, to be honest, the sun shone, the venue was beautiful, and it was a fantastic day. And I really do take it as an honour for having me entertain and host the day.
shout out to the venue as well, was Presswold Hall. So
Yeah,
they
it's
did
a
a good,
beautiful venue.
it's fantastic. Couldn't have faulted it at all, really.
Wonderful. Well, I'll put all your details about your product to help for the 7 day cleanse
Roll,
below. So what we'll do is we'll put probably subject heading of prize draw if they want the prize draw, and if they
yeah,
want more information, they can put a subject heading of info, and
yeah.
I'll put your email address at info@bevsankey.com in the comments below,
Mhm.
and I'll even put your link to your website so they can see the product themselves. Is that all right?
Yeah, they won't see the products on the LinkedIn website, but if they go to bevsankey .arbon.com, they'll be able to see all the products on there. If they just go to the nutrition tab, and then scroll down, and it will say 7 day refresh or
Yeah,
fresh start, sorry. And then they can open that up, and you can see. But if they want the ingredient sheet, I can email that as well, just so that they get clarity on it. So there's three components, just to reiterate to the set. You
yeah,
get 7 days supply of those three items. The matcha tea, you actually get 14 days, which is great because once you finish the 7 days, you can carry on having the matcha teas in the morning, and
yeah.
then do what I've done, and I've now bought a box of it separately because I've
Yay.
really got to like it. And then these Omnigut, you get 7 of these. And that is two specific strains of probiotic which are designed to help heal your gut. Now, it might
Wow.
take a lot longer than 7 days to actually heal your gut, but at least it's a good start. So it's repopulating your stomach and your digestive tract with good bacteria. And you're on the way then to helping your body to semi-detox and to flush out some of the stuff that you've retained, the water retention. And just get rid of the toxins because we live in a very toxic world, as you know.
Yeah. Well, not just food with everything at the moment, isn't it?
It
It's
is.
but let's not get on that
Apart from
soapbox.
weddings. That's the thing,
Bev?
you don't want your wedding to be toxic.
No, no, and I'll make sure it's not toxic.
Absolutely.
I've had it where people have been married and are separated and got the new partners there. They've got blended families,
Yeah,
and there's a lot of
yeah,
issues. And I just gently pulled him to one side. The granddad that's a pain in the neck said, "Look, it's not your day. It's your granddaughter's day. Just enjoy it and be happy for them. Doesn't care that Uncle Bob's there and he's drunk. I'll deal with Uncle Bob and his drunkenness. That was not this wedding. This is other weddings. So
yeah, and Eddie would as well. So
yeah,
thank you very much, Eddie. It's been fantastic to talk to you, and I'll perhaps talk to you next
no,
Saturday.
thank you.
The draw as well, if you can be there.
Yeah, well, I'll try and be there if I'm not working, but we'll try and do a Zoom and or do it
Yeah,
live on Facebook. We'll put where it's going to be live on.
yeah.
Um, I didn't expect to have this little competition in this little chat. It's a bonus. So
Well,
um,
it's like I say, it's so important. It's a really important day for
it is. It's well,
women.
you hopefully only get married
Anyway.
once.
Yeah, this applies also to men. So if there are any, bridegrooms out there, then obviously, you can enter the draw as well. It's
Yeah.
absolutely available.
Well, I'll put this out on all the socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and put all your details in so people can check it out. And hopefully people get some great insight of what I do. Great insight from Mother of the Bride and what stresses and
Yeah,
strains that
yeah.
you go through.
Yeah.
But
Love
no,
that.
thank you, Bev. I appreciate it.
Thank
and
you.
enjoy your rest of your week.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Lovely to speak to you.
See you later.
Bye.